Not so special for the San Francisco 49ers. There have always been durability concerns when it comes to the Bosa brothers, and Nick Bosa suffered an ankle sprain in practice on Wednesday, may not play at all in the preseason. He got an MRI on Wednesday evening. The 49ers are going to be cautious as he works his way back from the injury, try to get him ready for week one. Now, remember, when his brother Joey came out 3 years ago from Ohio State, he was a holdout at this stage of the calendar, so it took him time to even get in, and then he did have some injury issues, and that's always been one of the concerns. And look, not to jinx anybody, we were talking about, hey, there hasn't been a really big injury to a key player that's knocked him out for the season yet. And for a while yesterday, there was some anxiety about Nick Bosa possibly having a serious injury. But for now, not serious, but he's had 2 injuries. He hasn't played in a game. And you're going to hold your breath if you're a 49ers fan, especially because they could have had Quinnen Williams. And you know, usually you see those apples-to-apples comparisons with quarterbacks or running backs or receivers, but when the 49ers had Quinnen Williams on the board, and there was some buzz that maybe they were going to take him, that maybe he was the safer pick. And remember all that the off-field stuff with Bosa, not that he got in any trouble, but there was some concern about political issues and would that fly in San Francisco, and that all got pushed aside. They went with the guy who has the higher upside in their estimation, but it could be that Quinnen Williams ends up being the guy that has the stronger chance, at least, to make an impact right away. And Dee Ford also has tendonitis in his knee. He's not available right now. And here we are. The 49ers, every time it feels like they're trying to get the ducks in a row to go out and have a contending, relevant team under Kyle Shanahan, this injury issue pops up. And it's popped up with various different guys. And you know, at a certain point, it's no longer bad luck. And I've said this many times over the years. I remember it happened with the Seahawks 10 years ago. There's been issues at times with teams like the Chargers. When you have more injuries than you should, at a certain point, it really isn't just dumb luck. At a certain point, you have to go back and take a look at your training, strength programs. You have to look at your rehab. You have to look at everything. Is there something that you're not doing or that you are doing incorrectly that is setting the stage for or contributing to these injuries? If you watch games on Sunday, it's amazing how many guys you see get all pretzeled up and they're fine. They get up and they walk away from it. And a lot of that is a testament to the things that their teams do to get them ready to go out there and play. And when guys are getting injured all the time, that's when you really need to take a closer look at what's going on. And as Stats points out, they did fire their head trainer last year, so they're at least, I think, on notice that something's not right there. And if you're a 49ers fan, again, if you're a fan of any team, you're holding your breath in the preseason for the possibility of an injury to a key player. You don't want to have that happen. And for some teams, you're really holding your breath because you've come to accept that it's just a matter of time before that one injury happens. It's going to derail all of that optimism that you have built into the run-up to the season. And really, we're getting close to that point where bubbles are going to start to pop. All offseason long, plenty of hope and plenty of excitement and plenty of connecting of the dots to come to the conclusion that, hey, this is the year, this could be the year. And then reality starts to set in. In the preseason, it sets in with injury, or maybe guys just don't look very good. And then when you start piling up losses in September and October, that's when you start thinking about next year, when you get to be 0-0 and be full of hope and optimism all over again. And that's one of the things. Even though we have seen the Patriots essentially own the NFL for the past generation with 6 Super Bowl championships, there's still a sense that in any given year, any given team can find their way to the playoffs. And we've seen it enough times where a team gets a spot low on the playoff tree and runs the table that it's stupid as it sounds. And there isn't a team this year that I would say has no chance of making the playoffs. In past years, I remember a year where I said the Raiders have no chance of making the playoffs, and then I worried, oh my God, they're going to turn it around and make me look like even more of an idiot than I already am. But they didn't that year. And there was a year where I said the Browns have no chance. This year, there isn't a team that I can point at and say that team has no chance. Some would say Miami. I think under Brian Flores, they have a chance to at least get lucky, to at least put some wins together, build some confidence. You know, every team is going to get better or worse than they are right out of the gates. And we have seen teams get dramatically better by the end of the regular season. And I don't think there's a team out of the 32 that are in the NFL that I would look at and say it's impossible for them to get good enough to steal one of the 6 playoff spots in either conference by the time the dust settles. But that process begins tonight of getting to the preseason, getting to see the rookies, getting to worry about injuries, getting to see football again. The uniforms are back out. It's going to look like exactly what it will look like in September. It just doesn't mean anything in the standings. But for now, it's what we have, and we can't wait to see.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.